For 25-year-old Kate Thomas, this summer's family holiday to the New South Wales North Coast was one like never before.
We were going to the beach every day, and I think towards the end of the week I'm like, right, this is my time, we're going to go in the water.
It was the first time Kate swam in the ocean.
When the tide rolled in on me, it kind of almost felt like a dragging me back into the water, like an invitation. And it was so surreal just to look up and be like without hurting my neck and looking up to the sky and just feeling part of something that's completely unfathomable.
Many on a day like today when the sun is shining, it seems only natural to go for a quick swim. But have you ever stopped to think about how accessible our beaches actually are?
I broke my neck in the swimming pool in 2017, so I'm a wheelchair user now. But when I grew up in South Australia, I used to be a surf lifesaver. So I spent a lot of time on the beach. After I had my injury, I just assumed that the beach was a place that I could no longer go to and enjoy. And then it became clear to me a few years after my injury that that's not necessarily the case.
Shane Hohoric now works with an advocacy group that helps councils and surf lifesaving clubs make their beaches more accessible for people with disabilities.
We've now helped to activate over 50 accessible beaches around Australia. Every state scores differently with their success when it comes to beach access. Surprisingly, Victoria is the leader, but there's only a handful of beaches that are accessible in New South Wales.
One of those is Bondi Beach in Sydney's east.
We officially essentially launched a year ago, and so we are now able to be up and running, and the matting goes out 3 days a week.
But getting councils and surf clubs on board to make these changes has had its challenges.
I speak to councils every day, and some of them don't even have access and inclusion officers. And considering 20% of our population has disability, that's a pretty high number.
These challenges were on display at one of Beach Access Australia's first events at Burleigh Heads in Queensland.
One of the members of Surf Life Saving said, look, we don't see why this is necessary, this is risky. And as he was saying this, a young boy in a power wheelchair just zoomed down the pathway, just screaming out, yippee! That person from the Surf Life Saving looked at us and said, look, I get it now.
Once you become aware and you actually think, how does someone in a wheelchair get down to the beach, then I think it becomes very clear and very obvious that we need to be working more towards it.
When we share our stories, that's when things change. The ocean or the environment is largely out of our control, but there's a lot of things that are within our control. And I think a part of that is changing the mindset and allowing people of all abilities to have access to our favourite pastime.